सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे तु जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन मे। Hari Om. Salutations to all. So 2 verses we will chant first. बाल समय रवि भक्षी लियो तब तीना हो लोक भयो अंधियारो ताहि सो त्रास भयो जग को यह संकट काहू सो जात नटारो देवन आनि करी बिनती तब छाड़ी दियो रवि कष्ट निवारो को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। बाली की त्रास कपीस बसै गिरि जात महाप्रभु पंथ निहारो चौकी महामुनि साप दियो तब चाहिए कौन विचार विचारो कै द्विज रूप लिवाय महाप्रभु सो तुम दास के शोक निवारो को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो को नहीं जानत है जग में कपि संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो। So we find that Sugriv was in the Rishyamukh Parvat, confined there out of fear, and now he sees Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman. He doesn't know they are Ram and Lakshman. He sees 2 young princes. They are coming there, fair and dark in complexion, and very handsome, looking very brave, young. So he has suspicion that who are these roaming around in this forest. So he says, that enemies moving in disguise ought to be recognized by a clever person. For remaining distrustful themselves, they go the length of assailing the vulnerable points of their trustful adversaries. So Vali can do anything. He can send anybody. So he says Vali is very shrewd in his state affairs, and kings are very well versed in many expedients and destroy their enemies. So they should be known in their true color with the help of spies. So spies have to find out. So he tells Hanumanji that inquire of these 2 bowmen who have come here, that what is their purpose, why are they roaming around in this forest. And he says that even if you conclude that their purpose is something honest, he says their wickedness should be discovered by the means of their talks as well as by their facial expression. So find out, do they have any sinister purpose? Because they may say on the face something which is appearing to be honest, convincing, but you be alert, be careful, find out what is their wicked purpose if they have any, and look at their body language also. So Hanumanji says, so be it. Tatheti sampujya vachastu tasya kape subhi tasya dura sadasya. He says, so be it. And he goes. Now what does he do? He takes the form of a mendicant, a recluse. In Tulsi Ramayana, Tulsidas ji says he takes the form of a Brahmana. So he goes. And when he goes there, he starts asking them, so how have you two ascetics of remarkable vigor? Because they are in the tapas vesh, no? So Bhagavan also is having a jata and he has the bow and he is in the, bark of the trees, etc. But they have bows and arrows. So that's why Sugriv says that they are, princes, or they may be sent by Vali for, what you call them? Henchmen. They will kill you. They are professional shooters, right? Mercenaries, assassins. So he asks them that, you are ascetics of remarkable vigor, unfailing prowess, most austere, an excellent appearance. You appear like royal sages or gods. What has brought you here? And you are causing fright to the deers and the other denizens of the forest. He doesn't say, first of all, straight away Sugriv and all that. He says, you are causing fear to the animals and the other forest dwellers here. And you have a charm. There's a beautiful lake, which is Pampa. So he says that surveying the trees growing on all sides on the brink of Pampa and lending the charm to this lake of sparkling water, who are you? And this whole section is there where he describes the form of Bhagavan. His eyes and his long hands and his bow and, his jata is also long now. So all that, when he describes, they both are not speaking anything. They are not replying at all. And so he goes on that you have eyes resembling a pair of your eyes resembling the petals of a lotus and wearing a rounded mass of matted locks. You two match each other and are heroes who come down to this earth from the celestial world. Like that he goes on praising them. And finally he says that, wherefore do you not answer me, even though I am uttering your praises as I have done? So he has approached them. He doesn't ask them straight away. He praises them and he says, who are you? What is your purpose? And all that. And they are not answering anything. So he then tells that, there's a best among the monkeys, the gallant jewel amongst the monkeys is Sugriv. And he is a very dharmic person. And he roams the earth, afflicted as he is by his own brother, banished by his elder brother. And that Sugriv, the best of the monkeys, has sent me. And he says, I am Hanuman. And Sugriv seeks your friendship. Till now he doesn't know anything about Bhagavan Ram. He straight away says, Sugriv seeks your friendship. Know me to be his minister. I am the son of wind god. I have arrived here from Rishyamukh to oblige Sugriv. and I am in this form of a recluse because I can take any form, I can go anywhere. That capability is there. And so Hanumanji introduced himself now that I am the minister of Sugriv. So then he became quiet. Now Bhagwan Ram tells to Lakshmanji about Hanuman. This portion is a very beautiful portion of Valmiki Ramayana, which is about communication skills. If anybody is, expert in public speaking, or you want to develop expertise in public speaking, communication, or you do workshops in communication, then this small portion is a very nice one. That how has he analyzed Hanumanji's communication. So he says to Lakshmanji that he who has arrived here in my presence is a minister of Sugriv, whom I was seeking, because they were searching for Sugriv only. Kabandh also has told them, Shabri also has told them, they were searching for Sugriv. So he says, yes, Sugriv is the one whom we have been searching, and this minister is a minister of Sugriv. And he says, answer in sweet words with affection the aforesaid monkey, who is a minister of Sugriv, who knows how to speak and is a tamer of foes, O Lakshman. Meaning, tell him what he has asked, you reply to him. But before Lakshmanji gives the reply, Bhagwan Ram explains this communication aspect of Hanumanji's. So he says that the way he has spoken, it is not possible for somebody to speak like this unless somebody has studied Rig Veda with an eye to its meaning, memorized Yajur Veda, and has the knowledge of Sama Veda also. Meaning, first and foremost thing he says is Hanumanji is Vedavit, he is a knower of the Veda. Nandrig Veda Vinitasya na Yajur Veda Dharinaha na Sama Veda Vidushu Shakyamevam Vibhashitum. So first point in speaking is what? I must have studied properly, I must have the clarity of thought, and my base must be strong. Not something at the top of my head I am talking anything. Nowadays how much people speak? No proper research, no fact finding. And then they say they are talking facts. What is the Aadhar if you ask? No basis. And how many rumors one goes on spreading, and how much opinions are created, narratives are created, even fights are happening. Violence erupts. All. Why? Because what is spoken has no sound basis, no factual basis, is not grounded properly in scriptures or whatever be that subject, that field. So first thing he says that this person is well versed. Second, Veda, when he speaks about, it means that person has the knowledge of Dharma also. Veda is mainly for that purpose. Meaning here is a person who is a very dharmic person, who has studied the Veda and he knows the meaning of the Veda. Because this type of a speech cannot happen by somebody who is uneducated. That also shows that how Hanumanji is, the Vanaras were not just monkeys. Because if they have a kingdom, if they have, some of them have studied well like this, then that means they were much evolved. So that is another one aspect. Then beautifully he says the construction of the sentences. So he says grammar. So he says Nunam Vyakaranam Kritsnam Anena Bahudha Shrutam Bahu Vyaharatanena Nakinchid Apashabditam. What a beautiful line. That he has studied grammar because he has not made a single grammatical mistake in all the sentence construction that he has done. Surely the entire range of Sanskrit grammar has been studied by him in many ways, as is clear from the fact that nothing has been wrongly worded by him, even though speaking a good deal. For a long time he was speaking. Grammatically precise. Today to grammar to one doesn't. And with all the chat GPT available, I don't even need to know grammar. Any broken sentence somehow I put somewhere and then it will construct nicely and give it, and then I can just send it. And now that is available even in WhatsApp. You can ask, you have in WhatsApp. Meta has come in the top. You can put anything, ask anything, it will reword everything nicely, get you information, and then you can just copy paste, bhej do, done. So, grammar. And do you know he knew how many types of grammar? 9 types of grammar. Nava Vyakarana Pandit is Hanuman ji. एक टाइप ऑफ ग्रामर पढ़ते पढ़ते हमारी जिंदगी निकल जाती है, कभी वो भी नहीं पढ़ पाते हैं कभी. She is sitting here, no, Maitri. She studied full Ashtadhyayi. 4,000 sutras of Sanskrit she has memorized. You listen to her, speak to her sometime. She has done homeschooling only. And is given multiple 10th standard exams now. What was that? Gokarna, she went and gave something, some state board ka exam also. Nyaya she has studied, Sanskrit she has studied. 9 types, and that Ashtadhyayi is one type of grammar. Panini Maharshi's Ashtadhyayi. What are the other 8 types? Vedic grammar is one, Indra's grammar is one, like that different types of grammar are there. I'll get you the list, I don't remember right now, but 9 types of grammar, all that Hanumanji has studied. Just imagine. We think of Hanuman as some, people call him what all, saying, monkey god, monkey, and these Hindus are worshipping monkeys and all that. Arey, you don't know who is Hanumanji. He is Nava Vyakarana Pandit. Bhagwan Ram sings his glory. See there, before in Uttarakhand also I told you how Bhagwan appreciates Hanumanji. And here, first meeting of Bhagwan with Hanumanji, in the first meeting only he is appreciating Hanumanji, saying this person is not ordinary. And this, when his mind is filled with anguish, pain of separation from Sita ji, and he is asking people, and he is asking the mountains and trees and everyone, where is Sita, all that. But the way Hanumanji spoke, he is first praising Hanumanji's communication skills. So first is, one speaks after having studied, after having known dharma. See, that is one very important aspect. If I don't know what is right and what is wrong, how will my speech be? Wrong can appear as right, right will appear as wrong. It can be very what we say, light, halka type of a speech. I may not have that depth, clarity. So Hanumanji has that. Then some people speak with depth, but they don't bother about grammar. He is expert in grammar. Not a single word has been wrongly worded by him. And words have a lot of impact. Vocabulary is very, very important. Words have vibrations, words have meanings, and words have ability to convey feelings. So which word to use at what time, very important. This is one more important thing that we have to remember. In our language, the purity of the language is very important. Nowadays, you know how people speak. They feel it's a fashion to mix up languages. Hindi, English mix करके क्या करेंगे? English. So sometimes when we speak, suppose an audience is there and we need to speak in terms of, trying to convey some message, that's a different thing. But in the regular conversation, one should ensure that if I'm speaking in one language, I should know to speak in that language properly. Not bring other words and mix it up. And also that language which I use, what words. Like today, so many Hindi words we have forgotten actually, or we don't use only. And slowly through whatever many years of subtle insertions, so many Urdu words have got inside into Hindi. and we also unconsciously use it. There is no problem if one wants to use it, but many times what happens, this is subtle, soft power through which the culture slowly gets replaced. That one has to be alert about, careful about. Simple jhanda we can say, no? Tiranga we can say. But what will be the word used many times? Parcham. Now why parcham has to be brought in? You have not heard that word? Of course. Huh? Dhwaja can be used. I think so. It is a Urdu word only. Possible. Jhanda also can be a Urdu word. Cheshta, prayatna. Yeah. Many things like that, you know. It just filters in and then we don't know how. हमारे जहन में. What is जहन? मन होना चाहिए, भावना होनी चाहिए. Some other word you can use, हमारे जहन में आया. Like that you can see so many. So one has to be alert. Language, purity of language, and what influence it has, what vibration it has, what kind of word it is, and what is the intent. So here he says he has used not a single word which is wrong, single expression which is wrong, vocabulary wise, grammar wise. Then the third thing he says that na mukhe netrayosh chapi lalate cha bhruvos tatha anyeshvapi cha sarveshu dosha samvidita kvachit. Body language, no? People tell about. 10% of communication is through words. 90% is non-verbal only. And in that Ramayana, what he's saying, see, what has to be noticed? So he says, mukhe, on his face, no fault has been noticed. Eyes, lalata, even the eyebrows, bhruvoho. So forehead, eyebrows, or any other limbs, anyeshu apicha sarveshu, doshaha samvedita kvachit. There is no dosha. Sometimes what we speak is something we have in our mind. Our words don't match because there's some other intent in the mind and something else I'm speaking, but the body language can reveal. He came with the intent, so he is a spy. He came with the intent to find out who they are, but he did not do anything cunning. He straight away said, I am minister of Sugriv and all that, and who are you? And he praised them all. Bas. So there was no malice in his heart and there is no disintegration. What he speaks, how his body is expressing that, there is a sync there. Then he says that the speech emanating from his bosom and articulated by his throat is marked by absence of prolixity and is unambiguous, unfaltering, and does not make a grating impression on one's ears. Uttered because it's in a modulated tone. So voice modulation also is given here. That his way of speaking is such that it is not very harsh to hear, not very monotonous. Some people speak in such monotony that monotony only will tire us out. Because you can't listen to that continuously. You need some ups and downs, modulation, some pause, some silence, some emotions to be expressed. All that. If that is not there, then gone. Then he says further that he utters a wholesome, distinct, remarkable speech which is grammatically correct, fluent, and delightful to the mind. So it's very delightful. Ucharayati kalyanim vacham hridaya harshinim. Such nice expressions. English what it can convey and Sanskrit what it conveys. You see, here itself the difference in language. Hridaya Harshini. That this speech of his will delight the heart. Speech has a very important role to play. Power of speech, when we speak, if there is the right intent and there is a sadhana bal behind, that words will have the power to touch the hearts and transform. It will delight also. It can make us upset. It can make us scared. It can provoke us, instigate us. Anything the speech has a lot of power to do. Jihvagre vasate Lakshmi, Jihvagre mitra bandhavaha. At the tip of the tongue is Mother Lakshmi. Why? The way in which I speak, I can convince somebody to buy something. A lot of money I can make just by speaking well. How I speak, I can build relationships. Jihvagre mitra bandhavaha. I don't know. He said many things, but which one you are referring to? So, याद नहीं. So, Jihvagre Maranam Dhruvam also is said. If I don't speak properly, I can even get killed. So, speech has tremendous power. And do you know one power of speech is what I speak, mind can make it real. And it can manifest also. So, one should not take the speech lightly. Second most powerful energy drainer is speech. And in Vivek Chudamani Shankaracharya says, Yogasya Prathamadvaraha Vang Nirodha iti uchyate. The first step in yoga is control of the speech. How much to speak, when to speak, what words to use, and when to stop. One should know very clearly. Vang Nirodha iti uchyate. Neither speaking too much nor speaking too less. See, one beautiful thing about Valmiki Ramayana is who is praising whom in this. Ram Bhagwan is praising Hanumanji. Ram Bhagwan himself is an expert in communication. About Ramji, Valmiki ji says, Mitabhashi, Purvabhashi. He will use measured words. He will speak before. Nobody has to tell him, wait, ab bolo. He will take lead when he knows that this is the right time to speak. He will take the lead. He will speak. And he will speak appropriate words, measured words. And that Ramji is praising Hanumanji here. And so he says here, he utters wholesome, distinct, remarkable speech which is grammatically correct, very fluent. Some people have no fluency. In the speech there will be breaks. One is searching for ideas or words or struggling to express. So fluency is there and delightful to the mind. And then he says that whose mind will not be rendered favorable by this wonderful speech which has its seat in 3 articulating organs. How much detail he has given Valmiki ji in this. The chest, the throat and the head. 3 articulating organs. We think the articulating organ is only the throat. But all the 3. The bosom, the throat and the head. Tristhana Vyanjanasthaya. And then he goes on to say further that the mind even of an enemy with his sword uplifted will be made friendly thereby. That's a beautiful compliment he gives. Then he says finally that if a king doesn't have such envoys, such messengers, how will they ever accomplish anything? They should have such envoys like Hanumanji. And a king who has such envoys, what is not possible for that king to accomplish? That he is such a great envoy. So by pleading of an envoy, all the objects of a sovereign in whose service there happen to be agents adorned with host of such virtues are surely accomplished. So Sugriv, his purpose is accomplished or not. He sent Hanumanji to find out who are these. So once Bhagavan has praised him, Lakshmanji then explains the whole story of Bhagavan Ram from the time, where he was born and how Dashrathji's son is, and all the story up to the separation with Sitaji. The whole thing Lakshmanji narrates. And once he narrates this, Hanumanji understands that both of them have, their wives have been separated from them. Both of them are in anguish. And he says that, would you please come and have friendship with Sugriv? Sugriv can help you to find Sitaji, and you can in turn help Sugriv to fight against Vali. So they both are what you call, their friendship is a friendship based on the need. Both need each other. So when that is said, Bhagwan Ram and Lakshmanji, they are happy and they anyway were searching for Sugriv. Hanumanji then comes into his original form. In Tulsi Ramayana, after this whole thing happened, there's one nice prasang that comes in Tulsi Ramayana where Hanumanji says to Bhagavan, so the moment introduction happens, where Bhagavan says, I am Ram from Ayodhya and I am the prince, I am son of Dashrath and all that, he recognizes, this is my Lord. Why? Because Surya Bhagavan had told him that you will meet Ram. He will come in search of Sugriv. He is your Lord. So his Guru had already told him. Now he recognizes the moment he hears Ram. So he falls at the feet of Bhagwan Ram and he says, Bhagwan, I am a Jiva. I can forget you. But you are Ishvara. How do you forget me? I am your Sevak. How did you forget me? And Bhagwan smiles. He says, you came in the form of a Brahmana. You did not come to me as you are. So you didn't come to me as a Brahmana. You didn't come to me as a monkey. So I also did not come to you as Ishvara. You said you are, even here he says he is a minister of Sugriv. So he says, Lakshman says he is the son of Dashrath. So in Tulsi Ramayana he says very nicely, moment he falls and he says, I take your refuge, I am Hanuman, and he comes in his original form, then Bhagwan lifts him up and he embraces him and he accepts him. So Hanumanji brings, once he's come in this form, this beautiful picture in this, Hanumanji is lifting Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman and he brings them to Sugriv. Sugriv, in this context, Hanumanji is the Guru who brought Bhagwan to Sugriv. The Guru is the one who brings the Lord to the disciple. Obviously here Sugriv has not surrendered to Hanumanji in that sense, but Sugriv is the Jiva that we saw in the morning, who is living in fear, who is living scared every moment. When will Vali come? When will I die? What will happen to me? How will I be safe? How will I be free from this? All that. So Hanumanji plays the role of a Guru. In Hanuman Chalis also we have, no? Tuma Sugriva. What is that line? No, that is Tumaro Vanta Vibhishan Mana Lankeshwar by Sabajagidana. That's about Vibhishan. Tuma Upakara Sugriva hi Kinha Rama Milaya Rajpadadina. So Hanumanji actually brought Bhagavan Ram to Sugriv, and it was Hanumanji in whose mind it was that they both can strike up friendship, and Sugriv is introduced to Bhagavan Ram as the very, very powerful monkey. And he introduces Bhagwan Ram, saying he is the prince of Ayodhya and son of Dashrath, etc. So Hanumanji tells them that you both can be friends and help each other. And Bhagwan Ram very happily extends his hand, tells Sugriv that, will you be my friend? And Sugriv accepts. So when Sugriv accepts, Sugriv also comes to know about Bhagwan Ram. He promises to send his forces to Sita ji. Sugriv then tells about his problem, that how Vali has tortured him and all that. So Bhagwan says, all right, I will also help you out. First, Bhagwan helps him out. Before anything else, Vali is to be killed. So when Bhagwan tells him that, you go and challenge Vali, Sugriv is not very comfortable. He is very scared. Because Vali will beat him black and blue and he will finish him. So he has to know, is Bhagwan really capable of killing Vali? Because the most powerful person at that point in time is Vali. So generally, we think that Bhagwan is testing us. But here, Sugriv is testing Bhagwan. He's saying, are you capable? Prove. I am not going to go just like that. So Bhagwan goes and he shows Dundubhi's carcass, that this is the reason why Vali can't come here, and Bhagwan with one arrow he shoots and that flies and falls somewhere. Sugriv is not convinced. Why? Because Vali lifted that carcass when he was alive, that Dundubhi was alive and full of flesh, blood, mass, all that, were much heavier, no? And that Vali had lifted and thrown so far. This is a dead carcass with only some bones and all that. What is the big deal? You can shoot with one arrow. So Bhagwan has to prove. So what did Bhagwan do? Next arrow he took 7 trees of sal which are there. With one arrow he pierces all of them, and all those 7 trees fall, and that arrow comes back to him. Then Sugriv says, accepted. You can kill Vali. Then we saw the whole story in the morning, so I am not going into the detail. But this is how finally Sugriv befriended Bhagwan, and who was the main person is Hanumanji. So Bali ki trasa kapi se basai giri jata Mahaprabhu Pantaniharo. He brought together Bhagwan and Sugriv. So one aspect we saw, Bali represents sense objects, temptations, and Sugriv is the Jiva. Rishyamukh mountain is the satsang. Hanumanji is the Guru, and Bhagwan kills Vali from behind. Now, one other way to understand this also is, Vali is karma phala. The Jiva cannot escape the karma phala. Jiva will be chased by the karma phala wherever the Jiva goes. Sometimes we think that, we got away with it, nobody bothered, no results came, something wrong we did, but karma does not stop. Anywhere, wherever one is, karma will chase a person out. And so, Vali represents karma. Karma here means karma phala. What my past karma is, that I have to experience the result now. So Vali is that karma phala which will chase the person. Wherever that person goes, in Rishyamukha only that will not come. Meaning what? Anywhere we go, one is our past karma will come with us. It will come to us. And the way in which we act, we will create new karmas. In satsang, for some time, that result of the past will not affect us if I am sitting here listening to Bhagwan, etc. So, it's not that karma phala doesn't come at all there. That limitation of the analogy is there. But the point is, when I'm sitting in satsang, I'm not thinking about my past and my karmas and bothered about it or brooding over it. I'm listening to satsang. And through satsang only we find the way to exit the cycle of karma, the cycle of birth and death. So Vali represents that karma. And the friendship between Sugriv and Bhagwan Ram. So the Guru brings the knowledge of the truth, knowledge of the reality to the student. And when I come to understand that my nature is infinite consciousness, I am not the karta at all, then the entire karma bandhan is broken, destroyed. So the prarabdha karma is like that. It will come to us. But how to face that prarabdha karma is my choice. That purushartha kshamata we have. That Hanumanji brought that knowledge, that essential reality which is Bhagwan Ram to Sugriv. Till then Sugriv was not even believing that he can get free from Vali. Forget, kill Vali. To become free from the trouble of Vali, he had no solution. He was living only in fear. Till Atmagnan doesn't come to us, our life will be like this only, full of fear. Because we don't know an exit. Now, how do we exit from the cycle of birth and death? No idea. How to exit from samsara? No idea. How to face temptations? No idea. Sugriv brings Bhagwan Ram. Hanuman brings Bhagwan Ram to Sugriv. So that is the deeper symbolism here. Chaunki Mahamuni Sap Diyo Tab Chahiya Kauna Bichar Bicharo Kay Dvija Rupa Livaya Mahaprabhu So Tuma Dasake Soka Nivaro. So Bhagwan Hanumanji took that form of this Brahmana and removed the sorrow of Sugriv. In Hanuman Chalisa, what is written? Tuma upakara Sugrivahi kinha. Upakar kiya. Upkar means what? A favor. See, he could have just gone to Ramji and found out, because that was only his job. No? He was told by Sugriv what? Find out, are they spies sent by Vali? Are they people who are here to kill me? Go and find out what is their wicked motive and you come back. But did Hanumanji stop with that? He actually found out who they are, understood how it will benefit Sugriv, ensured that they both have a friendship. In Valmiki Ramayana, with the help of fire, their friendship is sealed. They both, the fire is lit and in front of Agni they take a pratigna. They will help each other. Hanumanji seals their friendship, makes both of them aware of each other's need, and that's how Sugriv is relieved. The Guru does upkar on us or not. Many times we don't even know we are bound. Guru only comes to our life and makes us realize we are bound. And when the Guru tells we are bound, first time when we listen, we think Guru pagal hai. Slowly then we understand, oh, really I am bound only. And then come out of the bondage. So that is the Guru Roop here. So Hanumanji plays this Guru Roop, and does he need anything out of it? Does he want anything out of it? Nothing. The Guru doesn't want anything. The Guru makes the Jiva realize the Shiva Tattva. Out of what? Causeless compassion only. And that's why he says here, So tuma dasake, so kanivaro. So please, I am your servant. You also remove my sorrow. If you see in the first shloka, it was remove the ignorance. In the second shloka, it is, how will I remove the ignorance? I need the Guru, no? Guru has to give knowledge. So Hanumanji makes us meet our Guru. If we have a Guru, very good. If we don't have a Guru, pray to Hanumanji. Please make me meet my Guru. I want to know who is my Guru, what I can do to surrender and learn. So, this is the second shloka. Now, interesting point to understand about Hanumanji's life here now. Hanumanji was serving Sugriv. Did any extraordinary powers manifest? Then he surrendered to Bhagwan Ram. Then what happened? All the extraordinary powers start manifesting. Whom do I serve? What is my altar of surrender is very important. If my altar of surrender is the infinite Lord, infinite potential will manifest. If I have surrendered to some ordinary person, that person who himself is living in fear, who may be powerful in some ways, no doubt, but he himself is living in fear because there is somebody else who is more powerful than him. How much can one surrender to that person and how much can one grow under that person? Hanumanji stagnates actually. If Hanumanji was only with Sugriv his whole life, he would have stagnated there. What they call in management now, vertical growth, horizontal growth. Hanumanji would have had only horizontal growth staying with Sugriv. More and more of the same thing. Maybe material prosperity, maybe some fame, name, that's all. But that vertical growth happened to him when he surrenders to Bhagwan Ram. So our altar of surrender, we have to remember. What is my altar of surrender? Does it invoke the best in me? This you can apply at any level. As a parent, how can I bring out the potential of my child? As a team leader, how can I bring out the potential of my team members? They may not know, but I have to help. For that, I have to be clear that if they are looking up to me, am I an inspiring role model for them? And am I doing things which will bring up their potential, or am I only using them without helping them to manifest their powers, their potentials? Sometimes one just uses people to achieve a certain end, but that person's growth one is not bothered about. Here you see Hanumanji brings together both of them in that Sugriv also attains his potential. Sugriv, would he have dared to go and fight with Vali without the backing of Bhagwan Ram? Impossible. Hanumanji makes him have the confidence. Hanumanji makes him surrender to Bhagwan Ram. Of course, he tests Bhagwan and all that. But finally he is accepting that. And when he goes, first time he is beaten up badly, he comes back. Then he need not have gone again. He would have said, "Bahut ho gaya abhi, I am not going. Itna maar diya mujhe. What did you do? You gave your test at that point in time. You convinced me and now." But he went second time. That second time when he went, what does that show? That he has that faith in Bhagwan that he will save and I will go again. So that surrender he brought about. Hanumanji ensured that Sugriv not only becomes a friend, but he also surrenders to Bhagwan and has his Shraddha in Bhagwan. And slowly he develops. Surrender comes in stages. It doesn't come one shot straight away. So in Sugriv's life also, surrender comes in different stages. If you see in Tulsi Ramayana, there is a lot of beautiful description of what Sugriv tells to Bhagwan Ram when Bhagwan kills Vali, and Sugriv's stuti is very nice there. So this is the second shloka which tells us about the Guru Roop. So ignorance has to be removed, Guru is required, Guru is brought. Hanumanji serves the role of a Guru. Now we come to the third one. But so Bali ki trasa kapis se basai giri, Jat Mahaprabhu Panth Niharo. So he is keeping a watch. Hanumanji is keeping a watch, that this Sugriv, Vali should not send anybody to kill this Sugriv. So in the Rishyamukh Parvat, somebody has to guard. That is he is playing that role. Panthani Haro. He is going on watching. Is anybody coming? Because Sugriv is like that. No, he is scared. So, Jata Mahaprabhu Panthani Haro. Das is us. Mean Tulsidas ji. In its context, we say us. Tulsidas ji says, So tum das ke sok nivaro. Because you removed the sorrow of Sugriv, like that you please remove my sorrow. I am also your das. Sugriv is not a das of Hanuman ji, but he says, just like you removed the shoka of Sugriv, you please help me. I am your servant. You remove my shoka also. So that is about the second one. Now the third one. So before I go to the third one, the discussion that you had, that which is greater, fate or free will? Who is the representative of that group? Please come, because that was based on this the second shloka. Baliki trasa basai. वो hand mic जरा दे दो. Because Vali, we saw in one, this thing is karma. And so based on that, fate and free will, which is greater?
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
This is the first time I am taking mic in my hand, so I may make mistakes.
Don't worry.
So our discussion was on what is greater, fate or free will. So some of the members said both go hand in hand. And some said that prarabdha, that is fate, is greater. And fate is greater because the divine will and divine intervention only finally decides it. And prarabdha is result of the past karmas, and we are supposed to only keep on doing our karmas, and the prarabdha will evolve out of it. And prarabdha is ultimately the result of karma, so we need to keep doing karma and surrender our karmas to the God with devotion. And thereafter, we all seek your guidance, Swamiji.
So there was no conclusion only.
No conclusion.
One group said, one view was that divine will does everything. And one is saying that prarabdha, we have to keep doing our karma, and prarabdha is greater.
So we were all confused. That's why we.
No, so you have to define prarabdha and fate and free will. You have to define first. Anybody wants to define in the group? What is fate? What is your definition of fate? हाँ जी. वो माइक जरा दे दीजिए.
In my humble opinion, fate or prarabdha is a result of purusharth, the karmas. So whatever are the karmas, unka karmfal jo is janam mein mil raha hai, usko prarabdha. There are karmas jinka result ho sakta hai agle janam mein mile, wo agami hai, whatever we can call them. Now, from one level, if we look at it, ultimately fate is also something which we have created for ourselves through our karma. Yes, in this birth, we have to face it. Question is, how do we face it? What is karm phal, sukh ya dukh? Yeah, depending on paap ya punya mein, sukh ya dukh. Now, if we know that chahe sukh ho ya dukh ho, I will remain equivocal. And I will continue to do my dharma, my duty. Then, I can face my fate, prarabdha, plus I can continue to do purusharth so that I can improve my tomorrow. So to that extent, I would say that while they are both interlinked, but purusharth has a much larger implication and understanding. Otherwise you can be in this birth and say, मेरे हाथ में तो कुछ है नहीं, वो तो fate के हाथ में है, जो होगा वो होगा. And then, it can bring you to inaction. Whereas when you understand this, that ultimately you have to take it. Chahe sukh ho ya dukh ho, it doesn't matter. You do your karma yoga, as what the gentleman said, and offer it as an instrument to the Lord. I think that will revive your karma. And as you rightly said a short while back, if you reach the ultimate goal, even this prarabdha or fate, everything will come to an end.
So fate is yesterday's purushartha is today's fate. That's what he said. That is what we call as prarabdha. So now, if yesterday's purushartha is today's prarabdha, and hence purushartha is greater, what is the role of God in this? That I had left you with that question in when you were discussing. So what is the role of God in this? If yesterday's action of mine is giving me result today, today's action of mine will create my tomorrow. So yesterday's free will, today's fate, today's free will, tomorrow's fate. So yes, I can keep doing. I can choose how to respond today. That will create my tomorrow. That entire thing is understood. What is the role of God in this?
God will give you strength, guidance. Otherwise, how will you work today?
Okay, so God will give the strength and guidance. All right.
God will give you the energy.
Okay.
God will help you to go as per the direction.
But He helps everybody like that, or there is something connected to that.
That depends on the goal.
माफ करेगा उसी को गॉड विल डिविजली इज अ बैड कर्म जो है इनको भी और कम कर सकता है जो डूइंग बेटर थिंग बेटर कर्म तो नाउ पुरुषार्थ से करते हैं तो ही में गॉड नॉट योर
Okay. So Bhagavan says that he doesn't interfere in this, law of karma will work then. So that is one view has come.
Ultimately, it is God. So he obviously we feel that he cannot get away by saying that you do whatever you want to do. He will definitely guide you, and that will depend on your karma. He will guide you to do a good karma for your life, and then you achieve your goal. Otherwise, if the God is not there, aesthetics will become, then it's a different life.
So God only guides me for good karmas, and that is how I can do my purushartha. That is one view, but like you said, the atheist, an atheist doesn't believe and he may still do good karma. Then what happens?
I feel that like with faith and with free will, like the faith means that God gives us opportunities to take or whether bad or good opportunities. God just puts the opportunity in our lives by factors that we can't control. And our free will to the our reaction to that opportunity or the karma that we apply or the karma that we do there, that's the free will that we have.
So her definition of fate is God is giving everything. Purushartha is my response to it. His definition of fate was, it is my past karma. Now two different definitions of fate have come now. Because these are the two conflicting definitions that people have. Some people think my prarabdha, what Bhagavan has written, and because of that I am suffering now. But okay, I have purushartha, I can deal with it. But they don't think that what I am facing is actually my past karma. So where is the place of your past karma in this then? If God is giving everything to me now and I have free will to choose what I want to do, how to do, respond now, what about my past karma? What happened to that? Because every karma doesn't give result immediately. No, so my karma will accumulate somewhere. Socho. Ah. According to prarabdha, we interpret मतलब अभी prarabdha भी अलग चल रहा है. God also is giving something of His own will.
According to our sanskars.
Okay, so according to my
Yeah,
sanskar,
yeah.
I may respond. Okay,
You respond and
but situations are coming from God. So fate is God.
no, fate is not God.
हाँ, तो पहले वो डिफाइन करना है ना. फेट क्या है वो पहले डिफाइन करना है. फिर फ्री विल क्या है वो डिफाइन करना है. Then only we can know ना which is greater.
Fate is karma. Whatever whatever we have done in the like what the
What he
gentleman
said.
said. Yes, yeah.
So my past karma is fate.
It is value. What value you take in your day-to-day life. Actually, that is that value is the faith. That's what you want to achieve. Then finally it goes to the goal or achievement. What you want to achieve.
No, it is not faith. It is FATE. Fate we are talking about. Destiny.
Hari Om Swamiji. So what I feel is free will exists within the confines of universal laws. So that which the Creator has set for us. So we don't have absolute free will. We have free will within the confines of the universal laws that the Creator has created. So in that sense,
So
we
what?
can.
So what is your definition of fate then? Free will का boundary you have set. Fate क्या है फिर?
Fate, I agree with this, that it's your previous karmas that has defined today. But again, even those previous karmas were within the confines of the same universal laws.
Okay.
And only what I have seen or what I've read, that the karma phalas can be diminished with the Guru's grace or with divine intervention, but you still have to face them in some way. So in that way, I feel the intervention is of God happens.
So in that question, fate and free will, which is greater? How will you answer that now based on this understanding? Which is greater?
Free will is the only instrument that we have control on. As in, like fate, we don't have any control on. So we can only change now, which is our Purushat, like do something now to change the future. So that is more powerful, I feel.
You find out. Fate is a sequel to free will or free will is a sequel to fate. अब पता करो. Your definition, that's why has to be clear of what is what.
So, as many people said, like fate is prarabdha. So, whatever, based on our past karma, we get our fate and the prarabdha. But when it comes to free will, what we think is our free will is based on whatever experiences we had, what environment we are in, and what kind of inputs we receive. And that all is again fate.
Which is what?
What I'm saying is, whichever environment I am in, where I am born, what kind of parents I had, that was my fate. I had no control.
But why are you born to that parent only?
That's what I'm saying. So that is what my fate was.
No.
Based on my past
What does that
karmas.
word fate mean there?
Prarabdha. So
if it is prarabdha, then that is your karma only which has brought you to the parent. No, you have full control. You can't say I don't have control. No, because why are you born
in
only
this
to
birth?
those
I'm
two?
saying in
in
this
this
birth,
birth only.
when I born, I got some out of my sanchit karma, whatever prarabdha I received. Based on that, it was decided where I will born, in which kind of family, what kind of religion, or what kind of will I born in city or village or whatever things. Based on that, whatever my upbringing, what kind of education I got, there are a lot of things which we don't decide. We think we have a free will, but actually there are a lot of things which happens to us, because of which external influences, we take those decisions. We think we are taking those decisions, but actually we are not in full control.
So now you have a third answer. Neither fate is important, not free will is more powerful. What is more powerful is circumstances and environment.
That is fate.
How is that fate? Your definition of fate is mixing up. No? On one hand, you are saying it is prarabdha. Then on the other hand, you are saying circumstances. Can we say circumstances is my fate?
Happens because of my prarabdha. That is what I am saying.
So if circumstances are happening because of your prarabdha, then your prarabdha is powerful than circumstance, no? Which is creating circumstance for you.
Correct. That's what I am saying.
So फिर prarabdha powerful हो गया.
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. That's what I am saying.
So prarabdha is more powerful.
Yes,
finally.
Yes. That's what I am saying.
Okay.
you get some guru, you choose to go in the right path, you see someone who is going on the right path, and you get inspired, and then you go that path, then it is not fate, then it is Guru's help.
But then Guru came in my life is again my fate.
Guru comes only by fate.
Not you, nothing ever comes.
Socho.
Nature is also a
You know, it can happen. Guru can come by, you can search for a guru and you may find one, no doubt in that. But so we have to understand very clearly the definitions have to be thorough.
Guruji, I feel like free will is much more greater, because even though you're trying your, you have like your fate is poor, or if it's decided, if you feel like something is decided by God,
Your definition of fate you have to make first clear.
yeah, like if
What
you
is
feel
fate
like
for you?
past karmas that you are
But
sent
you are saying
within
decided
this-
by God now.
that you are sent in this birth. So it is decided by your past karmas, which you have done. It is not something that God wants for you. It is not something that God puts you through. Like, He is nobody to blame in this.
Mhm.
And I feel like even after that, even if you have a fate of not being able to find a guru, if you work hard, if you give your 100%, I feel like God is so great that because you're working so hard towards it, you will definitely succeed.
Okay, last one here, then we will conclude here. Give him.
I think free will exists in the space of how you react to your prarabdha. So, the way that you are able to react to your prarabdha, the circumstances that are created by your prarabdha, I think that is how you can change your future prarabdha, I think.
So free will is more important, more greater than fate.
It is greater, but free will comes in where for your future prarabdha, so that you can improve it in the.
Yeah, so if you are able to improve your future prarabdha by free will, which is greater than fate or free will? Why are you answering? He has to answer now, because he said earlier. Because he said that
But,
fate is greater.
But fate is ultimately fate is what will affect your life.
But what created that fate? Cause is more powerful, or effect is more powerful?
Cause.
ये कल भी आपने बोला था ना सबने, cause is more powerful or effect? Cause. So fate is a cause or fate is effect? Wait, let him answer.
I'm confused over that.
Fate is circle. Hare Ram. कैसे? अरे पहले आपने कर्म किया ना. From human births onwards, you have that free will, no? You are doing karma. See, fate and free will, which is greater, in that the question has to be understood first by the definition of these two words, okay? So, free will, so what is fate in this context? There are two possibilities of the word fate. One possibility is fate is given by God. That's what many people think. ये भगवान ने दिया है मुझे. Bhagwan is sending all this in my life. Because of Bhagwan, all this is happening. That is one definition. Second definition of fate is, it is result of my past karma. So what I did in the last few lives, or whatever, how many other lives, and that I didn't get the result, and that some of it is ready to give me result. So that is the fate of this life. So I will be highly influenced by that. Then comes free will. Now free will is available only to human being. And free will means what? In the present moment, I have the capability to choose how to respond to what fate will bring. It is not randomly anything happening to me. Fate is because of my yesterday's karma. So it is not random. So I can't blame anybody that Bhagwan or somebody is doing this to me. No, yesterday's karma. So I am born in some place, in some city, to some person, going through some education, experiencing some things. is all based on some past karma only. And with those specific people I am going through, I have karmic debt, so I am going through all that. That is the law of cause and effect. Now, in this, as a human being, I have free will of how I will go through this. That free will, as some of them said, is within the purview of the universal laws. It's not absolute freedom. I can't do anything that I feel like doing. Suppose I say I want to bend this hand of mine downwards. कर सकते हो क्या? कर तो सकते हैं, लेकिन मार दो तो वो हो जाएगा डाउन. लेकिन what is the point? Is break. You can't use it. So there is a free will which has its limitation. Now, in this understanding of fate and free will, that yesterday's karma is today's fate. So yesterday's purushartha is today's fate, and today's purushartha is tomorrow's fate. This is law of karma. What is the role of God in this now? God has two roles to play in this. One, God is the karma adhyaksha. So the equipment has the ability to function because of the presiding factor on the equipment, which is consciousness. That is Bhagavan. So when he says Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati, Ishvara is in the hearts of all and illumining all. So the capability to act in the equipment has come from Ishvara. The sentiency comes from that supreme truth. The capability to choose also has come from whom? Ishvara only. No, Ishvara gave us a human being has that capability to choose. Other species don't have that ability. Who is the creator of this whole thing? But there is an intelligence, call it God, reality, Bhagavan, whatever it is. So Bhagavan's role is there. The equipment with the specific ability is created by the Lord. Illumining of that equipment, the ability of that equipment to function moment by moment is Bhagavan's presence. The laws that are created, within which the law of karma is functioning, no? That if you do this karma, you will get this result. And what decides this is a good karma or bad karma? The motive decides. And that motive, there is a system which judges, no, clearly that this law, this is the law of karma. So this kind of a result is dharmic action. That dharmic action will give this result, and the consequent punya and papa etc. will come, and that the jiva will experience. This whole system who created? अपने आप आ गया क्या वो? नहीं. Chitragupta is only recorder. Chitragupta has not created the system. Chitragupta is one position who keeps an account of your karmas. That is what one says. So you can call law, nature, you can call supreme power, God, Bhagavan, truth, reality, whatever you want to call. But it has created, no? And once you do this karma, the karma phala who gives? To ensure that you are born to a particular parent and to bring the jivas together to exhaust their karmas, who does all that? Bhagavan only does, no? So when we say prarabdha and purushartha, no doubt in that level of discussion where we say that purushartha is karma and prarabdha is a result of that, so present karma is creating tomorrow's prarabdha. Today's free will is creating tomorrow's fate. In that we should remember this whole system functions by the grace of Ishvara only. Why this is important to understand? Because in this one forgets the Lord and one thinks my karma I am doing, I am getting result. Where is Bhagavan? What Bhagavan? I don't need any Bhagavan. Which is what we see in the Mimamsakas. No, Mimamsakas are like that. They think karma is supreme, and when you do the action, you get the result. And doing the good actions, you get punya, you go to heaven, you enjoy there, you come back and you continue. Where is God in this? No God required. This definition of fate and free will itself, when we start in this karmic level, then actually the understanding of fate and free will is to help me to surrender to God, because the whole system is made by God. And the highest expression of free will is to surrender. that my ego only says, I am the Karta, I did this, I did that. That ego only is keeping me in the circle of birth and death. That ego has to be surrendered. Then I realize that, I am one with Bhagavan. So, in that karmic definition of fate and free will, this whole thing is because of Bhagavan. The capability to act is there, Purushartha Kshamata is there, the laws are there, the karma phala is there, and to exhaust that karma phala, appropriate bodies are there, and the jivas come together. All that is done by Ishvara. That is the vyavastha of Ishvara. Now, if Ishvara says, I am not involved in anything, means Ishvara is not doing micromanagement. But Ishvara is the one who is enlivening this whole thing. Without that, nothing will happen. This electricity is what is making this bulb shine. Now, what that electricity ke baad, what we will do with that electricity, how we will use the bulb, what we will illumine, what will not illumine, that electricity is not bothered with all that. It will illumine the bulb. Now you do what you want. So, if Bhagavan says that Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu Name Dveshyosti Na Priyaha, in that 5th chapter, what he was saying is that Bhagavan explains that. So, he is not doing micromanagement. If a devotee does a wrong thing, will Bhagavan give him the wrong karma phala or not? By the law of karma only it will come, no? This vyavastha has been set up. If a bad person does something good, he will get the good result or not? He will get. The vyavastha is set up by the Lord. So from that level, Purushartha is greater, because my Purushartha is only creating my Prarabdha. And the purpose of that Purushartha, the best use of that Purushartha is to recognize whom? That there is a higher intelligence which has brought all this into play. So may I use my Purushartha to know that. That is one level of discussion. In this, where we define Purushartha as my free will and Prarabdha as a result of that free will, then free will is definitely greater. But if the definition of fate is written by God, first of all, fate is not written by God in that sense of each individual, but if you take that standpoint of everything is predetermined by Bhagavan, which means every single thing, then there is no free will also. Then there is only Bhagavan's will, Bhagavad Ichha. Then there is no debate actually, because everything is Bhagavan's will. Like in a movie, it appears to us that the actor is making choices, no? But actually the actor making choices. The director's script, it is full, complete control by the director. एक डायलॉग अगर उसने एक्स्ट्रा बोला while shooting, what will the director say? Cut. हमको लगता है कि अरे why did he do like this? Why? अरे that all is the will of the director. But
from the point of view of Sankat is like that. Everything is determined by God. It's sadharan karan. Even in Bhagavad Gita, it's the same thing, that it's whatever your past karma or anything that you're carrying with you, if you put in your hard work, you can definitely change it. If you put in
because we live at the level of choice, we have to accept that we live at the level of choice, then we should make the best choice, because people unnecessarily put it on God when they don't want to put in the effort, when they don't want to take responsibility, so they blame it on God. So at the level of choice we are living, no? So we have to know that whatever I am doing is my responsibility and I will face the consequence of it. So at that level of choice, we have to do the best choice. That is our Purushartha, we have to do. But deep down we have to know very clearly that Purushartha, as I keep doing, I start understanding that actually it is all happening by the divine will only. This Karta Bhav is an illusion actually. Which is why in the Gita, in the 11th chapter, what does Bhagavan say? Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. Oh Arjun, just be an instrument. Maya eva nihata purvameva. I have already killed them. He has killed them how? Because of their karmas only. It's not that Bhagwan is sitting there and deciding कि ये दुर्योधन को मारना है. Because of his karmas only, and according to the system, he will get that result. So, even if you are not there, Arjun, somebody will kill. You just be an instrument. So, that understanding of predetermination is also to drop my ego and karta bhav. So, the point is only this. At the level of karma, when we say, then we say free will is greater. But if you say that fate is predetermination by Bhagavan, then that is greater because the will of the Lord supersedes everything. But the conclusion of both this is what? No. Conclusion of both this is only surrender of doership. Using my free will also, what do I have to do? Drop my doership. Surrender ki Ishwar Echa, everything happens by His will. I have done what my best I can do. Whatever result comes, I accept. He is only the karta, he is only the bhokta. Done. Khatam ho gaya. If I say that no, my free will, I don't live at the level of choice and free will, I live only at the level of surrender, that Bhagavan is the karta 100%, I am only a nimitta. Then also my karta bhav is also gone. So the definition of fate and free will once we define, and the discussion when we do, final result is only this, that drop doership, realize that there is only one truth, and that you will be, if you realize that I am not the karta, then you will realize oneness with that supreme truth. So that's the basic point. Bhagavan determines by his will through the laws, no? It is not random. That's the important point to understand. The will of the Lord expresses through the system and the law of karma. It is not randomly doing, no? The script is there in the mind of a director, right? और randomly थोड़ी हो रहा है वहाँ पे. The director has a certain script in mind, उसके हिसाब से ही वो चल रहा है वो पूरा. So for the viewer, it looks as though the actor is making the choice, but the fact is director is making the choice, and both the standpoints are valid or not. They both are correct only, but they are at two different levels. And so when we are at a jiva bhav, when we have this strong body identification, then we have to live at the purushartha level, saying, I am going to do my best to stick to dharma. I will not move from the path of dharma, do all good karmas and dedicate them to Bhagavan. That's the way to get out of cycle of karma.
And not try to like succeed in
Then you will fall, no? That is, see, the idea is that you are thinking like that to do negative thinking and you are wanting to spend time in laziness. That is your choice you are making. That time you can't say that it is God's will. How do you know it is God's will? Exactly. So for knowing that script in mind, what should I do? Use my Purushartha well to realize oneness with Him. Then only I will know the script. To know the script, you have to go to the director, no? Simple. How will you go to the director with bad karmas? You can't go. So you do your duty, you do your Purushartha, prepare your mind, purify it, you will be one with the director. Then you will know the whole script. Yeah, that is a simple answer. 11th chapter. Yeah, correct. Correct. Yeah. It need not be only Ananya Bhakti, even Bhakti is by itself enough. Ananya Bhakti is very high level. Correct.
I'm doing even in there exactly what you explained because you wait from Karta to Karan to Akarta. So even in the Bhakti, this thing will happen.
it will happen. So these are stages we have to remember. We can't jump suddenly to one level, and we have to maintain consistency. When I do something bad, I can say it is all Bhagwan's will. And when I get some good result, I say, Mera Purusharth, मैंने किया, मेरा effort. वो नहीं हो सकता. Either you live consistently at a Purusharth level, do your best and dedicate that to Bhagwan, or you say that everything is will of Bhagwan. Then there is no resistance at all. Okay, last question, then we stop for today.
Or is it like through my actions? Is it a result of my karma? Or is it what?
So, did you seek the guidance? Did you ask for guidance? So, your karma you have done, it will result in karma phala. And we should remember that karma phala is coming to you by God's will, no? We saw that the whole system is created by Bhagwan. And you invoke it, you get a result. That also is God's will only, actually, in that sense. So, I have to understand this, that it is not that my Purushartha is completely disassociated from God's will. That if these two levels are there, dono disconnected hai, aisa nahi hai. My Purushartha I can do, but behind that, what all capabilities are there, the body is there, enlivening is there, Purusharth Kshamata is there, that is because of God. Then I am asking guidance. That also, that capability is there because of Bhagwan. And the result is coming because of the system, that is also Bhagwan. So, ultimately it will come down to that. Only thing we have to understand in this is not to become fatalistic, saying ki if everything is God's will, then I don't have to do anything. That one has to be careful. Buddhi to us. Exactly, that's what we are saying. No? That capability Bhagwan has given to us.
I get that guidance which I did not know anything. So what is
Both. It can be will of Bhagwan. Again, I am saying, it is not that at that point only you have to ask, then only it comes. You have in the past have done so many things. That accumulated thing also is there because of which it is coming to you.
you have to be a Garbhi. So then you double up your hard work.
So, simple point in this whole thing is what? I should take responsibility of my karmas, do what best I can. Ultimate truth is to drop my doership. Once I do that, I realize oneness with the Supreme. In that process, whatever ups and downs come, without being an escapist, I have to face it. Either through Purushartha or through the complete surrender, that is all Bhagwan's will. Either ways, I will do what? Accept what has come, face it. Do the right thing to be done. That's it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.